All right, here we go. On this live, I'm going to start talking about who I am and my stories and my lessons. My stories and my lessons. That's what I want to start talking about here. I want to get going on getting a video diary of the topic of me. I think that's on, and that's on. I hope that you guys can hear me. Me and my recovery from alcohol use disorder. That's what this boils down to, because that's the subject I want to speak on, and mental health awareness and mental health care. So I read somewhere that in order to be considered someone, not an expert, but someone with more authority, you have to be 10% more knowledgeable on the topic than most people. So I would say, in my opinion, I'm 10% more knowledgeable than most people on alcohol use disorder recovery, because I've lived through it. I've been through it. I put myself through it, some could say. So I want to start documenting my stories and organizing my stories so that I can present them in a way to inspire hope for change, and maybe inspire people to make different choices early on, or to change the path that they're currently on. So I have to somehow get this all organized. I'd love to write a book as well, but anyway, I kind of made some notes here, and a story and a lesson, and my life is full of them, as is yours, I'm sure. I believe that all of us have a story to tell, and that all of us could help other people from sharing our experiences, should we feel moved to do so. Because it's not easy. It's not easy to do this, but I feel really moved to just keep pushing through and get this on recording, talking with you guys about it. So, I grew up on a farm in Boone County, where I was born into a wonderful family and had a lot of support around me. My mom and dad were there till death do us part. My dad died in 1995. I don't want to skip too far ahead. See, that's the hard part about getting all this timeline down. But the cast of characters in my life are going to be my mom, Robin, my dad, Joe, and then I had my grandma, Peter, and my grandpa, Peter, Fran and Marv, and then my grandma and grandpa, Vickery, who we lost early on, so I don't really know too in depth my Vickery side of the family, other than my great grandma, who I know, I don't know, I guess, but I remember she got an OWI at age 88, so there were maybe some alcohol addiction issues going on there. And then my mom has cousins, and I'm in touch with some of that family now, but not as in depth as my Peter family. And the Peter family, I've got aunts and uncles, my Aunt Ann and my Uncle Chuck and my cousins Eric and Carla. And then I've got my Uncle Tom, my dad's brother. Ann is my dad's sister. I've got my Uncle Tom, my Aunt Judy, and my cousins Lori, Joanne, and Brian, who all played a very significant role in my life, all the way from 1972 to current. But they are definitely in that segment of my life I'm calling rainbows and butterflies. Is my childhood, my upbringing. I feel I was born into privilege, which I can talk about that in my stories and my lessons. So great environment. I mean, no obvious, huge, big, major reasons that would cause me to take off into a life of addiction and lies and all kinds of, just a life of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's kind of the quintessential stereotype of what I did. I went worldly, is what I like to call it. I'm just looking at my notes here. And then that 1972 to 1990, of course, I've got a lot of my grade school friends and my grade school influences that could be watching this. They're friends still today. And I've got my high school friends and all my high school influences and people that are there. And again, I mean, I was outstanding speech and drama for the class of 1990 at Roland Story High School. And I think in the yearbook it said I was the most likely to be a comedian or an actress or something like that. But I've never had a problem really getting in front of people and talking to large groups. So I think that I need to recognize that as a gift, because I hear that that's like one of people's biggest fears is talking in front of people, and I don't mind doing it. I can do it. Get the right material and feel passionate about it, and it should be really easy to talk about it. I almost made a cup of coffee, but then I'm like, no, I need to drink more water. I need to drink more water. So, so why'd you drink? That was the big question that a friend of mine asked me, like the day I got back from rehab back in 2017. And I think they expected like a full-blown answer, and I was just 55 days sober from alcohol at the time. I think about that now. What if I was just a baby? But I didn't know. I still did not know why I was behaving the way I was behaving. I just had to change what I was doing in order to get my mind right enough to even dive in to try to figure out why I was behaving the way I was behaving. Emotional suppression. There's a whole nother topic. Emotional suppression was a large part of why I did what I did. So, why'd you drink? And that question came up, and I have been on the quest to figure that one out ever since 2017. I am 6 years sober from alcohol. And I say sober from alcohol because if you know me, you know I'm 420 friendly. And I think that it's a whole different medicine, and alcohol does different things to us. So sober from alcohol is going to be what you hear me say, for that reason. Again, there's a whole other topic we can talk about that too. My mom has a sister too, and that was in there. My Aunt Teddy and my Uncle John. And then I kind of broke down the next segment of my life, the worldly segment, and that's between like 1990 and I'm just saying 2017 when I quit drinking alcohol. And some significant dates in there. It's going to be 1990 was high school graduation. I was literally fresh off the farm, heading on down to Ankeny, Iowa, going to go to DMAC. I was enrolled at DMAC, but I didn't go very much. But anyway, 1993, I met my very best friend, Melinda, who's my best friend to this day. And so that was a significant turning point. That's a significant character in my story. In 1994, I was married. 1995, my dad died. And 1995, Brianna was born. So that was significant. That was a big time. 1997, I was divorced. And then 2001, here comes Josie. So now things are getting real good. Josie's born. That's a significant time. 2001. 2003, I have my gastric bypass surgery. I lose 120 pounds. Yep. body image issues. There's a whole bunch of stories and lessons we can keep talking about there too. Body image issues, I would say we're going to go back into about 1979, 78 when that started coming into play. But anyway, 2003 is when I had my gastric bypass surgery, and then after that, I lost a bunch of weight, started going out and partying, and really acting a fool then. And that alcohol would hit my new gastric bypass stomach, and whoa, here we go. So that couldn't have possibly helped me either. And then here we go. 2005 is when Angie earns her first OWI. 2008, I think it was 8 or 9, somewhere in there. Jamie, you can correct me. 2008, Jamie moves away, and Jamie and the twins were very significant in my day-to-day life. So there's a whole nother thing that happened that I did not process and handle well. And then I found myself living in my car for about 3 days in 2013. And then in 2017, that's another significant. If this was a book, these would be the chapters. In 2017 then is when I finally, I sobered up one time. I went to a Mercy rehab in there in 2007, somewhere after that first OWI. I did get sober for 7 months. That's funny that I forgot that. I didn't even put it on the list. Yeah, wow. There's something there to talk about too. So, yeah, I did. I went to Mercy First Step and did a program in 2007 and quit drinking for a few months then, but then decided to drink when I went over to France because, when in Rome, right? And I'll be fine. I'll be fine now. I can handle it. That's what I thought. No. That did not work out. Things continued to spiral and got worse and worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I did not have a lot of value. I did not value myself. I didn't see my value in a godly way. I saw my value in a worldly way. This is the chapter called Worldly. Not really the chapter, the section, if you will. I divided it into 3. 1972 to 1990 is Rainbows and Butterflies. 1990 to 2017 is I Chased Worldly. And then 2017 to 2024 is my sobriety from alcohol. So in 2017 then is when I hit Beaches Recovery in Jacksonville, Florida. And that was the beginning of taking my power back, finding my value, and changing my life. And that, those are the things that I want to talk about on these Tuesday night, more intimate, if you will, personal storytelling, my stories and my lessons. And tonight was the very first one, and I'm just winging it out here like a little baby bird, like that says, that little meme thing that guy does. It's so funny, but it's not a meme, it's a voice clip. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, my stories and my lessons. This is episode 1. And then what I'll do is for each week, then I'll just take one little topic and pick one little story and one little lesson. And we'll just keep going, pecking away at it like that. And eventually I'll have enough stories and lessons that I can compile them all and try to put it together in some kind of a print, a book or something would be ultimately the goal. I'm trying to create multiple streams of income because this is the goal. Get the house. Raise my income, find a way to generate the money, and go buy this house so I can open a sober living house for women. So, and in order to do this, why would we trust you to do all this? This is why I'm telling my stories and my lessons, because I've been through it, I know a little bit about it, and I want to share what I have. I want to share what I've learned. I want to share what I have acquired, even like this motor coach. Eventually, we're going to be going out in this with the clients that live with me in this house. We're going to park the motor coach here at this place when I get back into Des Moines, if I get my way about it. So, anyway, I'm going to work real hard and just keep moving forward. Keep going, tell my stories, get things recorded so that I can, I don't know, make it into something. I will do some public speaking with it one day. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate all the support, all the comments. I'll check them out later. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about specifically, message me or something. Tell me in the comments. I appreciate the feedback. We're just going to be out here doing our thing. Authenticity for the win, right? Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Helps me feel less alone.